Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another reading. Yes. We're just going to start with the Ostara deck and the Mabin deck. Shortbread, we are getting a lot of the same messages, but the lovely thing about getting messages is that the interpretation, the sort of downloads, if you will, if the words from Spirit always change, it always develops, the story always develops. So we have Shortbread. The sweetness of your craft asks that you indulge in the celebration of you. And we also had a celebration message in the last message, but it was more celebrating with friends as well. Now here, I mean, when you're making cookies or when you're making something good, I mean, I know I do, but I love sharing. You want to share it with people. But first, you get to have that first taste of those first cookies. You know, the freshest cookies of them all, fresh out of the oven. And that's your right to do it. It is your right as just a person, a human being, to celebrate the things that you do in this world. Because this not only benefits you, but this benefits those you will share it with. This spreads love, the frequency of love. Like these cookies, we know that, specifically food, but the things that we do, that we give to others as well, in a spirit of sharing, is sharing love. And that is the most powerful frequency in the freaking universe. You know, it is the most powerful force with which we can change the world. And so, yeah, you are going to share that love with other people, but you need to share that love with you first. So eat that cookie, my love, and feel that energy, that heart chakra energy, expand you. Warm your belly and, delight your taste buds, but expand your heart chakra into your body. I'm being called to say that there's been some meditative work that I've been doing this past year. And like I listen to some guided meditations, but I also do my own sort of just, whatever. But in these meditations, a lot of the time when I'm going through the chakras, oh, excuse me, my throat just kind of, oof. Sorry. But in my meditations, when I get to the heart chakra, it has expanded. The space of it has expanded so much. It's like an armor. And when I am in that space, it's like armor when I am not thinking about it, when I am not meditating. And then when I'm meditating, it gets even bigger than that. It encompasses the entirety of me. It's in that, what do you call that? The toroidal field? It's like, it's all outside of me. It surrounds me. And you have to allow that love from yourself to surround you, to expand you. It's easiest to celebrate yourself, to love yourself, when it is somebody else pouring that love on you. But first things first, because at the end of the day, we are still separate in these human lives, right? At the end of the day, it is you alone in your head, and you have to be good with yourself. You have to be good to yourself. You need to, if you must, I heard today somebody talking about gentle parenting yourself, just speaking gently to yourself, expanding your heart chakra in the most sort of difficult way that we have. We put so much reliance upon feeling loved by the notion of having romantic partners and that being the way that I'm going to feel loved in this life. But my love, No. No. Love is wonderful. Having romantic connections is beautiful. But the person you must always take care of first is yourself. And you must do that with love. You have to put on your, oxygen mask first before you can put it on somebody else. And this is not a message of you have to love yourself before you can love somebody else. I don't believe that's true. I do believe that you can, if you've endured trauma around self-worth and self-love, it can be very helpful to be loved by another. And it doesn't necessarily have to be romantically either, but by your friends, by your chosen family. You can learn to love yourself through that too. But please, 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 celebrate yourself in everything that you do, for living a good life, for just being, and being a light in the community, because we are all lights, my love. And you get to eat those cookies first. All right, let's go to the Mabbin deck. Elderberries. We got foods today. Elderberry is a very healing berry to have. Sorry, my brain just there it is, a knowing within bone. Allow it to guide you. What I'm getting from this is that there is healing here from celebrating yourself, from allowing yourself to take the medicine of being kind and gentle and loving and celebratory of yourself. It is such an important thing. It is such an important medicine that has sort of been taken away from us, because culturally, we are at a point where we are supposed to feel like we're nothing, like we're worthless if we're not being productive, and if we're not making a whole bunch of money for, a business owner somewhere. We are not. I lost my train of thought there, because what I got here was, but that's wrong, because you are worthy and you are whole and you are, what am I looking for here? You are worth celebrating. You are allowed to have that cookie by just simply existing, not by having done anything, by just simply existing. That's it. We come here on this planet, which is a hard planet to be on, 1122 as I say this. This is a hard planet to live on. We have a lot of messed up stuff that I feel like our spirits are supposed to learn how to eventually fix, to be sure, but also just experience a lot of these things that disconnects us from ourselves. I feel like that's what Earth, especially at this point in time, but honestly, actually thinking about historically, a lot of power things by people in power were basically meant to make people feel like they weren't fully people, like that you are not worthy in and of yourself, and especially too, because I'm seeing her, she's wearing kind of peasant clothing, right? And peasants aren't real people. Peasants are people that I can just, as a king, command to do whatever, and they're tied to the land, and they must stay there. They have no say in their life. 1123, 123, as I say that. But no, we need to take that power back for ourselves. We need to take the medicine of loving ourselves and seeing ourselves as worthy, as a beautiful being on this planet that is just as important as any other human, as any other animal, as any other ecosystem, as any other feature of the land. Okay. All right. This is the Animal Apothecary deck by Cara Elizabeth. What else would you have us know about this, Spirit? Ooh, okay. Oh, here we have horse again. And we also have vulture again. Okay. So we have immense growth. And I always see this as like the seed that like will double and double and double and like grow. Just as a side note, I grow myself sprouts to eat, and it's very much, I'm just seeing sprouts in my mind when I see this, for sure. So actually, before I get to the other cards, we're going to go through these cards. And now, vulture is about pain. Let's see where this one is. Number 15. 32. Immense growth. Vulture comes to speak to us about the wisdom of the sacredness of suffering. Again, Earth School, there's a lot of suffering here, right? In Buddhism, the first noble truth is that all life involves suffering. It is not something to be escaped, but to be accepted. Only when we accept this law of our existence are we able to transmute and grow from suffering. Vulture sustains her life by living off that which is dead. She does not interfere by bringing a quicker death to her prey. Instead, she allows it to endure what it must, and its suffering ends in its natural time. This mirrors back to us the importance of patience. You know, this is also giving me the message of growing pains as well. That as we are growing, and as we are growing exponentially here, of course there are going to be pains. And going back to, you know, the spirit of us and learning things here, learning to be connected with ourselves, that is a difficult thing, and that is a painful thing to sort of recalibrate this human life's brain, you know, this who I am in this life, to recalibrate my brain in this life, which doesn't know everything that I know as a spirit, but that only knows what I know here on this earth, and only know what I have learned how to treat myself and others by my life on this planet. It is hard to undo that, to have that vulture come in and just eat away at that. But it is hard to, oh, here's what it is. Yeah. It is difficult to do, to allow that dying process of those ideas, of what we've been taught. It is very difficult. You will grieve, and you will feel those parts of you dying. And it hurts. It's not easy, it's painful, and you will shed many tears. But when it's gone, vulture can come eat that. There is a learning from that. There is a learning to reveal the bones of who you are. Oh my goodness, yes. The bones. The knowing of the bones. The knowing at your core who you are and who you need to be, who you chose to be here. So celebrate those wins. Celebrate every time you are able to take off another layer of the things that we really, we're here to learn how to separate from, to take off these things that are not allowing us to be whole people, not allowing us to be sovereign in ourselves. Opportunity. Oh, we have the bee here and the woodpecker. It's coming and knocking at your door, baby. It's coming to knock at your door. Through the allowing of the shedding of, the dying of those old thoughts and paradigms and the cage that has been surrounding you from seeing your full true self, you are allowing room for this door to appear for you, this door of opportunity. Now, let's go read it. It's 26. What? Oh, 16. I can't read. Maybe I should put my glasses on. Woodpecker is the only creature in the world that bangs its head against something 12,000 times a day. When woodpecker knocks on your card spread, it is a sign of resilience. Like woodpecker, you must be determined and persevere. If there seems to be an obstacle in your way, this is the beautiful confirmation to keep going, because nothing can stop you. No one and nothing can take you down. Even this suffering, this pain of grief and allowing your previous self to sort of die. I lost my train of thought again. Even the suffering can't keep you from what it is that you were meant to do here. From the door you're supposed to walk through after you've grown too big for this room. And that room being societal things being put onto you, the things you learned from your parents, all of the ways in which you think poorly of yourself and then you think poorly of others and allow yourself to be controlled by that. My goodness, I'm dry tonight. Sorry. Okay. In the card, Woodpecker is knocking on a red door of opportunity. This mysterious door is easily looked past, even though it is right in front of your face, especially because, it's not the nicest door. The paint is chipping. Although it is a really great red. However, it holds the emblem of the bee and shares this message. There is an approaching opportunity in alignment with stepping into a more expansive version of yourself and fulfilling yet another part of your purpose. And the bee always to me signifies a queen, so somebody who is sovereign. So this is opening up the door to your own sovereignty in who you are and leaving what doesn't fit, or leaving that tiny, tiny room that you can't fit in anymore so that you can fully be seated within yourself. We have tame and attain. So this recently has come up, and it is sort of in the opening of the door here. You are going to be able to come to a place where you are going to have so much room to run around and be wild and free and sovereign in yourself. But there will come a point where you need to take the reins and gently lead this, passion horse of yours to go where you need to go in this life. Right? So run wild and free with this. Experience after you walk through this door of becoming your full sovereign self and understanding that you are more than what anybody has ever told you and what society tells you you are. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate who you've recognized as yourself again, and then get to the point where you can be like, okay, with this sort of like expansive and sovereign and royal self that I have found again, I need to focus that energy into doing what I came here to do. The illusion. So you may have some issues with continuing to hold on to the fears that have been instilled in you without ever having experienced any of those things that you are fearful of. It is time, again, this is going into this room that is too small for us again. Our fears make us too small. You have to be fearless. You have to allow yourself to run wild and free until you can understand how you can use that wildness and freedom and that passion for what it is that you need to be doing, and guide that and focus that in so that you can take yourself the farthest distance you could never even imagine you could have taken yourself to. But you're not going to get to that distance if you are constantly holding on to a weapon, constantly thinking about the things that could harm you. Again, it is making room for this expansiveness, for this running wild over the meadows and into the sunset and into that beautiful world that you envision for yourself and for your loved ones here. All right, my love. Thank you very much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.